Jesus said to his disciples, "Do not let your hearts be troubled. Trust in God still, and trust in me. There are many rooms in my Father's house. If there were not, I should have told you. I am now going to prepare a place for you, and after I have gone and prepared you a place, I shall return to take you with me, so that where I am you may be too. You know the way to the place where I am going." Thomas said, "Lord, we do not know where you are going, so how can we know the way?" Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one can come to the Father except through me. If you know me, you know my Father too. From this moment you know him and have seen him." Philip said, "Lord, let us see the Father, and then we shall be satisfied." "Have I been with you all this time, Philip?" said Jesus to him, "and you still do not know me? To have seen me is to have seen the Father. So how can you say, 'Let us see the Father'? Do you not believe that I am in the Father and the Father is in me? The words I say to you, I do not speak from myself. It is the Father living in me who is doing this work. You must believe me when I say that I am in the Father and the Father is in me. Believe it on the evidence of this work, if for no other reason. I tell you most solemnly, whoever believes in me will perform the same works as I do myself. He will perform even greater works, because I am going to the Father. This is the gospel of the Lord. Now, lead questions for today. Question number 1. St. Peter reminds us Christians in the second reading we heard that we are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a consecrated nation, and a people set apart. Quite some qualification. A chosen race, a royal priesthood, a consecrated nation, a people set apart. Now, what are the implications of these for our daily conduct? People who are a chosen race, who are a royal priesthood, who are a consecrated nation, people who are set apart. What are the implications? Question 2. What exactly did Jesus mean when he told his disciples that he is going to prepare a place for them in his Father's house? What did he mean? Question 3. What is it about the way, the truth, and the life of Jesus that sustains you? This is personal now. That sustains you through dark and troubling times. I guess some of you, or a few of you, have occasionally had some dark or troubling times. What is it about the way, the truth, and the life of Jesus that sustains you through dark and troubling times?
Good morning, Father. Our attempt, question 1.
Okay.
Which says, as a chosen race, royal priesthood, and consecrated nation, and a people set apart, if all this is true, that much is expected of us. That we must live our life as though we don't own it, but we own it to the Lord, because he has, with all this, he has placed us with a lot of burden that we need to carry his word in everything that we do in our daily living.
Before burden, I thought it's first of all privilege. Talk of the privilege, then you talk of the burden that go with it.
Fine. The Lord has given us the privilege first by being alive. It's a privilege. So, in our daily living, we need to do His works as expected.
I'm talking of privilege of being a chosen race. Just being alive is nothing. I mean, one can be alive.
As Christians.
Give her a round of applause. Okay.
I would like to attend question 1, but she attended that question. I will still throw more light to it, or the way I feel the implications in our daily conduct. As a Christian, we are reminded today, it's not as if we don't know. We are reminded today that we are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a people set apart, and all these things are true. The implication, yes, they are true.
Okay.
Then the implication in our daily conduct is this: for the fact that Christ has placed us all this high, because even in this earthly life, people that come from royal family, as we know, there is a way they conduct themselves, all their attributes, the way they walk, the way they talk, all their doings.
Not anymore.
Oh.
Some people from royal family, then they behave like other children for gutter. So don't use that one. Just tell us something.
Okay, then there is a way they conduct themselves. It then means that in all our life, in all our daily living, both our private life, public life, we should conduct this in such a way that people will see God in us, because we are just like a nation set on a hill. We cannot be hidden. So everything we are doing, people are watching us. Even if we don't say we're Christian, people are watching us. So in that aspect, we should ensure that all we are doing that reflects the Christ in us.
Give her a round of applause. In everything we are doing, behave like people who are set apart. People who are set apart. Yes.
Glory to Jesus. It's a very simple thought. As Christians, Christ has set example for us. Example of holiness, example of self-sacrifice, example of love. And as Christians, and as true Christians and true believers, we must live life of examples, life of leadership wherever we go. Because in some places, you find people who claim to be Christians, they behave as if they are unbelievers. But this is a very clear statement that as Christians, we must differentiate our lives from the lives of those who are in the world. Glory to Jesus.
Yes.
Good morning, church. I'm going to attend question number 2. It says, what exactly did Jesus mean when he told his disciples that he was going to prepare a place for them in his Father's house? Jesus said in his Father's house there are many rooms, but he's going to prepare a special one. It's like someone giving you an invitation to a party, and he's saying, everybody is coming, but you're going to be by my side, meaning wherever he is, his disciples will be there seated by his side. And other than that, it's a lot of ways, but he said there is only one way to get there. The only way is through Christ, meaning that you will live a life that pleases him, that befits his standard, in order to see this special room.
Give her a round of applause. Yeah, you've been invited for a party, and when you get to that party, you sit at the high table with the host, right? Yeah, that's what exactly Jesus is doing for us. Give her another round of applause. Yeah. I'm going to find my way to that party. Yeah. Now, one more. Yes.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I want to attempt question 3. What is it about the way, the truth, and life of Jesus that sustains you through dark and troubled times? From my understanding, this is a kind of encouragement to all Christians, that in every time of darkness, in every time of difficulty, we have a symbol to look at. At any time we are finding things difficult, we have to look into the life of Jesus Christ. We have to look into the ways, and we have to find the truth in his teachings. And at each time we do this, we are going to come out of our darkness.
Just a minute. It says it is a very personal question. At your dark or troubling time, what's your name, please? Martins, at your dark and troubling time, what is it about the way of Jesus that sustains you? Don't talk about we.
Okay, thank you. Yes, for me, there are occasions where I get disappointed by probably friends or my expectation from individuals. And at that time, it becomes a challenge. Who do I look onto for inspiration? And Jesus Christ comes very easy for me. At a time when he was denied by Peter, what did he do? Did he take it personal? Or did he still receive Peter back to his threshold? In the life of Jesus Christ, we find inspiration to find a way. Personally, I find a way in Jesus Christ when I'm in trouble. I see the truth in his teachings, and in his life, I find forgiveness, which I will give to even those who have done me wrong.
Give me a round of applause. Thank you very much.
Answer question number 1.
Yes.
St. Peter reminds us, Christians, that we are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a consecrated nation, and a people set apart. Yes, it is true.
It is true.
Yes.
Okay. Give him a round of applause. He says it is true. Tell us about it.
And what are the implications of our daily conduct? Jesus is telling us that we should conduct our lives in a way that God will be happy, that he will be grateful with us.
Yes.
That's what.
Give him a round of applause. Yes, give her.
Glory be to God.
You think he doesn't know what he's talking about? Yes.
No, he knows what he's talking about.
Yes.
I want to attend question number 3.
Yes.
That question number 3 said, what is it about the way, truth, and life of Jesus that sustains you through dark and troubling times? That way, truth, and life of Jesus that sustained me through dark and troubling times is the suffering and the death and the resurrection of Jesus. He sustained me when I'm in the situation, in the hard situation, that when I'm suffering, I remember the suffering of Jesus, that it is finished. Jesus have already suffered it, and Jesus have already suffered all my pains. So it sustained me, because when I remember Jesus, he suffered for a sin that he has never committed, and me, I'm suffering for what I have committed. I know that it sustained me when I think about that one. And the truth is that he really died. So I have to live my life to show that I am Christ-like. The way, the life he resurrected, I will know that in anything that I suffered, one day, even if I'm dead, even if I died, I will resurrect with Jesus.
Amen. Give her a round of applause. Good. Before we go, this chosen race, royal priesthood, consecrated nation, and people set apart. Unfortunately, very often, many of us are not conscious. Not only are we not living out the implications, many of us are not even very conscious of being a chosen people, being a royal priesthood. I have constantly emphasized here, when people here talk about men of God, man of God, man of God, what have I always said? You yourself, you are a man of God, you are a woman of God. Don't go running around looking for man of God when you are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a consecrated nation, a people set apart. What is more man of God than that? And I did say that in our church, the oil of chrism, the oil of chrism that in the Old Testament was used to anoint David and other kings, that was used to anoint prophets, is the same oil that was used to baptize who? Who? Each one of us. It is that same oil that is used to anoint a bishop. It is that oil, by the way, that is used to consecrate the altar that we use in church, that we sacrifice on in church. It is that oil of chrism that is used to anoint a priest, or to anoint a bishop, or to consecrate the altar. It is that same oil that you have been consecrated with. So you are indeed a chosen race. I have constantly had situation where, you hear they say, oh, everybody's talking, they say, there's this scandal, oh, Reverend Father, you caught Reverend Father with a woman, Reverend Father is committing fornication. And the person talking is a terrible fornicator. And I say, what about you? He say, oh, me now, ordinary person now. I'm talking about Reverend Father who is a consecrated person. You are ordinary person. After your baptism, you are an ordinary person. You can do anything that pagans do. How many Catholics talk about some scandal of some church leader and they are guilty of the same thing and they don't see any problem with that? Do you get the point I'm making? No one comes to me and say, oh, they say that this father did this, father did this. I say, but you do worse in that area. And I say, oh, but I'm an ordinary person. Every Christian is consecrated. And that's why I tell people, I say, look, the reason why I am not having sex with people around is because I'm not married, not because I am a priest. The same reason that forbids me from sleeping with somebody forbids all of you who are not married, or those who are married, from other women. True or false? It is not because I'm a priest. It is the same commandment that bind me and you. Thou shalt not commit fornication. Commandment number 6 or 7, depending on how you calculate it. Oh, you don't know? You don't know that it is number 6 for us, but the other churches is number 7? You don't know? It depends on how you calculate the commandments from 1 to 8. There are two different calculations, 2 different lists, and it is 6 in one and 7 in the other. Just as you have Psalm 22, the Lord is my shepherd, is Psalm 22 in some Bibles, and is Psalm 23 in others. Anyway, so what forbids me forbids you. And I tell you, and they are shocked. They are saying, it's not because you are a priest. I say, no, there are Reverend Fathers that are married. So have I answered your question now? There are Reverend Fathers that are married. Therefore, it is not because I am a priest that I am forbidden from having sex. It is because I am not married and I have no right to sex. In the same way, all of you who are not married, can I see your hands? All of you who are not married have no right to sex with me, like me. And it is quite true. Because you are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a consecrated nation, a people set apart. Your consecration is a serious thing. It is not a plaything. Don't tell me that you are an ordinary person and I am consecrated. You are an ordinary person. You are not an ordinary person. It is true that I have a ministry. My own is ministerial priesthood. But you are a priest nevertheless. Understood? Let us see ourselves for the special position we occupy in God's house. It is not the Reverend Father alone that Jesus tells, I am going away to prepare a place for you so that where I am you may be. Is it only me who will be there where he is? That promise is to everyone. So you better take your consecration seriously, and may the Lord help us.